It's amazing when you think about it that, Dostoevsky wrote this novel or released, let's say, this novel over the course of, 1879 to 1880. And I suspect, at least, and there are probably people who are more expert in studying his notes who have definite opinions about this, but to me, the novel does not read as if he knows everything that's going to happen when he sets out upon it. Now, I should say, I mentioned that Dostoevsky has a kind of frantic style, that in some ways people have thought of him as this very serial novelist because his characters are kind of harried and there's almost a disheveled look to a lot of his prose. But it's also true that he frantically prepped, and his notebooks are full of, all these different, test scenes that didn't make it into the novel and snatches of dialogue that he's trying out. So he was a careful writer, but he was also a disheveled writer, right? By design and also by nature of the form, right? So it's remarkable that setting out upon this journey and asking us to set out upon this journey, he already knows who his hero is going to be, right? He already knows who this person is, and it's the seeds of it are there, right? He does develop it over time. I think he kind of comes up with backstories for some of the characters over time as the novel progresses. But he does, at the same time, really have a deep grasp of what he means to do in this novel. One of the things that we talked about at the conference, and I'm saying this generally rather than attributing it to anyone, try to keep it confidential. But one of the things that is known is that Dostoevsky did not intend for this to be his last novel. He had other novels planned where Alyosha would sort of go off into the world, other things would happen to him, and indeed, the other brothers too had sort of planned trajectories. So this is not the end, but it is in some ways kind of his definitive statement of the predicament. And Alyosha is his definitive answer to that predicament, even if we only see the kind of glimpse of the man he becomes over the course of this novel. It's a phenomenal piece of work. I've really enjoyed going through it with you. I hope you've enjoyed that too. I hope you'll go take a look at it, give it a second chance if you've previously set it down. Brothers Karamazov. This is the Pevere and Volokhonsky translation, which I do recommend, although, of course, there's always stuff to critique that I learned about in this conference. But it's just a fantastic novel for our times, especially.